Hello, it's me again. I'm going to make two videos because I don't want to overwhelm everyone and make this a long video. So it's going to be in two parts, and the second one will be the conclusion. But for the parable of the fig tree, I suggest if you want to turn to Jeremiah chapter 24, verse 1 through 10, because that part in the scriptures is the heart of the parable of the fig tree. It will tell you the two baskets of the good fig and the bad fig. Anyway, I would like to start with Isaiah 34:1. Come near ye nations, which in the plural means all races, to hear and hearken ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein the world, and all the things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, all races, and his fury upon all their armies, and he hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Now, what in my studies, what I found out is there's a divine band that all the nations are placed under it, and we cannot forget who the enemy is. The real enemy. It's deception, lies. It's false doctrine, false, you know, it's deception. People being deceived. For all nations will be deceived. All people. Isaiah 34:3, word on 34:3. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of the melted with their blood. What is that? That's the final hour of the age of the flesh, of our flesh bodies. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their host is people, shall fall down as, get this, here it is, shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. There you go. There it is. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Iduname, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Then the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness. That means we have plenty to do. And with the blood of the lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. That's a hard one to say. Bozrah, in my studies, is a fortress of Edom. And let's say the last sentence I read you is a prelude to Ezekiel 38, chapter 38 and 39. And I also learned something in my studies. Well, I didn't know this, maybe you all did, but we purchased Alaska from Idumea, I think it's Idumea, Idumea, the land of Rush, which is Russia. And that's written in Ezekiel chapter 38. And in Ezekiel 38, Rush is the chief prince, Russia. Verse 7, and the unicorns, which this is in Hebrew, that we know there are no unicorns, but in Hebrew, it's wild ox, shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked or drunken with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. Okay, this is why we came to this, because of the fallen, fading fig. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance. When is the day of the Lord's vengeance? On the seventh trump. Not the sixth, but the seventh trump, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. You know, Mount Zion, the north of Mount Zion is God's favorite place, and that's where his temple is, Ezekiel 16. And I will read a little bit further on, and then I'd like to turn to Revelations chapter 6, verse 13, concerning the time of the fig tree. I'll read you one verse here, and I might have to make another video. And we're talking about the sixth seal here in Revelation 6:13. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as the fig tree cast her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. What are we talking about here? I'm looking at the timer for a minute. We're talking about the angels and Lucifer being cast down from heaven. You know, deception. You know, Lucifer in the Hebrew means bright and morning star. That's why he's going to deceive everybody and say he's the fake Christ. That's why Jesus said, learn the parable of the fig tree. Do not be harvest out of season and follow the Antichrist on the sixth trump and sixth seal. 666. Sixth seal, sixth vial, sixth trump, the Antichrist. Okay. When it says here, she is shaken of a mighty wind, Uruk, Spirit of God. But see, also in this verse, many Christians, many people are being deceived already, and will be deceived because of the rapture flyaway doctrine. They are being mightily deceived. That's how it will happen, because they listen to false doctrine and do not study God's word in the simplicity that it is written in. Anyway, I'll go one more verse, and then I'll make another video for you. Revelation 6:14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain, which means nation, and island were moved out of their places. Well, sure, God's going to shake them. God's, God means business. If you're caught in bed with the Antichrist and being deceived, everything's going to be moved and formed in the way it should have been before Adam and Eve sinned in the garden. Anyway, I want to stop here, and I will continue with the parable of the fig tree. Thank you. See you in a little bit.